Hello, and this is Drew with Your Average Joe's Sports Network. Now, this video will be describing my mission statement and why this channel even exists. Now, to me, I have always loved sports, particularly in football. As you can see by the Steelers hat, I'm a Packers first and a Steelers second. I just wear the Steelers hat because I wore black. But anyway, I've always had a passion to be involved in football somehow, whether it was either on the field, whether it was a coach or a scout, maybe it was, in broadcasting or journalism, whatever. But, with money being tight and also no financial aid to further my education, I decided to use YouTube as an outlet to showcase my talents, to showcase my passion for football. And like I said, this is a sports network, so I'm hoping as this grows that we'll bring in people that love basketball, baseball, hockey. I will even introduce drone racing, which, by the way, if you don't know, these people work very hard to construct the drones, and then they race them against each other, against players from all over the country, all over the world. And the reason I take such interest in this is because I was one of the groomsmen at one of the players' weddings. So I grew up with one of the players. He goes by Amari, and I was at one of his weddings where I also met another player for drone racing. His name is Sky. So hopefully we can get into that analysis, as well as possibly, since I know them, get them to have an interview. Now, obviously, I would have to go through the process and get approval from the Drone Racing League, but I will recommend you to watch them. They either are on NBC Sports or they're live on either Facebook or Twitter, so go ahead and follow them. So I don't have the education of a broadcaster. I don't have the experience of a coach. The only experience I have as a player is high school, and I played in a 8-man football league at a Christian school. And so my experience is limited, but nonetheless, my love for sports begins all the way back to 2003, when my first game I ever saw was Brett Favre, after his father died, Irving Favre, play on Monday Night Football against the Oakland Raiders and have one of the biggest games of his career. Obviously, I was a Packers fan from then on, a Brett Favre fan from then on, but also a huge football fan from there on. And so, like I said, over the years, I've watched, Sports Center, mostly NFL Network. I remember watching Rich Eisen, and now I watch Good Morning Football with Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson, and Kyle Brent. Loved watching those three guys. But now, like I said, I'm hoping, like I said, with this YouTube channel, I could have an outlet to showcase my not only my my knowledge of the game, which again is limited because of my education, but nonetheless, I feel like the reason for this channel is because despite my shortcomings and despite my limitations, that I think a lot of the talk that we get from football that we enjoy is not from Sports Center, not even NFL Network, even though I love NFL Network. It comes from chatting it up with your average Joe, either in the bar or you're at home, or you're tailgating, whatever. It's that talk between, lovers of the game, of the fans, that we really enjoy. And that's really the purpose of this sports network. There's no political agenda. It's really just fans who want to express their love of the game and talk about it, because I have friends that, like I said, know so much about the game, more than any regular person should have, and yet they, like I said, that because they don't have the education, they either work at a warehouse job, that's what I currently work at right now, or they're working a desk job, whatever, but like I said, they would rather be doing something else. So I'm hoping with Average Joe Sports Network, like I said, hopefully this is not just a way for my voice to be heard, but for any guy that wants to have his voice heard. Like I said, I hope to bring other guys, your average Joes, to talk about their favorite sports and newses. From my perspective, like I said, being an NFL fan, talk about the latest headlines And I was going to start my first video talking about the Super Bowl, but I thought it would be best to start off a new year, the 21-22 NFL season, now that we're starting with the analysis of the NFL draft that's coming up, especially now we're under year 2 of COVID-19. And obviously the evaluations are going there. We'll talk about, each positions. Obviously you're talking about just the quarterback position with Trevor Lawrence. And then we'll talk about mock drafts. If you're not familiar with that, the NFL is fascinated with, because the first round out of 7 rounds has probably the top players in all of college football. And those are the ones that will probably make the most difference in the next 5 to 10 years. But for some reason, even the experts have a hard time predicting, but yet that's what's the fun of it, that fans and broadcasters try to predict who's going to pick who, how the NFL draft is going to turn out, how they feel those needs to make a difference from, missing the playoffs or going to the Super Bowl next year. So I'll be showcasing my mock drafts as well. Obviously, they're pretty big, so I'll probably split them into pieces. But yeah, that's kind of the future that I have. Like I said, I'll be moving from Iowa to Florida with a roommate. So I'll be in transition from there. But hopefully, as this channel takes off, that I can start honing some skills about graphic design, about how to make YouTube videos. I've already looked at some videos on YouTube about how to make the channel better, about lighting, about camera, about even where you do it from, whether it's my apartment or maybe getting a separate place, whatever, for it. But yeah, I am very excited, and the reason I wanted to get this video out of the way is because I kept hesitating. I even changed the name of my YouTube profile to Average Joe's. I even wrote down a mission statement, but I hadn't issued my first video yet. So this is my first video being posted right now to say that this is my first step into becoming a YouTuber, and particularly a YouTuber that loves the game of football, that loves sports, and, like I said, wants to really, let my opinions be known. And like I said, let the people who subscribe to me eventually let their voice be known as well. So, again, this is Drew signing off from your Average Joe Sports Network. Hopefully not for the last time. And, yeah, thank you guys.